Hey fragrance friends and enthusiasts, welcome back. It's Benjamin here at the Centaur Fragrance channel, and today we're going to be talking about none other than 450 X Factor from Sweet Fumes. Now this one was sent to me from the brand, and I'm going to be 100% transparent and honest with you guys, like I always am. And I'm not influenced in any ways or shape, in any way, shape, or form. But take this with a grain of salt if you'd like. But this is a fragrance that's kind of a clone house. It's trying to be, this is a very mass appealing blue kind of fragrance, and that's what they were going for. Now, I'm a very curious person, and when I see something different, I start thinking. And when I start thinking, I saw 450 X Factor, and I said, there's something going on here, 450. Let's play around with this. 450, I think that this is, connecting to Baccarat Rouge 540 because of the play on the numbers, and X Factor, I think that this is playing into X Batch by, Parfums Vintage. I think that's what's going on here. It definitely smells like that as well. Some people, if you're not familiar with either of those fragrances, this might remind you of Rojas Elysium, somewhat similar to that. But yeah, a very modern blue, mass appealing fragrance, very easy to wear. But, I'm not crazy about it, honestly. It has a little bit more of a sweetness underneath it. Kind of interesting in that way. And it has a little bit of an ambergris feel to it, certainly. I want to say grapefruit, but maybe it's something else. Maybe like a red grapefruit. It has a little bit of the sourness to that. And I'm trying to really pick things out of this, but honestly, this smells very mass appealing. You could even say generic. It's not overtly unique, not overtly complex, but it's very mass appealing. It could remind you of Prada Carbon as well, but this is a very mass appealing type of DNA. Very easygoing, very versatile. It comes off to me as not very natural either, but it is blended very well. But when I say it doesn't smell natural, it doesn't smell synthetic exactly. It just has those kinds of notes, and it has that kind of feeling about it, but the quality isn't bad here. Actually, when you first spray this on, there's not really much or any alcohol to speak of. It's more of an oil or an oil base to this fragrance, so that surprised me that there wasn't any off-putting alcohol. So I think that's a really nice thing. But the oil helps the fragrance last longer, and we'll jump into that performance here in a second. But guys, this isn't a bad fragrance. If you want something highly versatile, interesting hybrid mix of things, that very mass appealing fragrances on the market, this could work for you. But I do have to say that as I search for more unique fragrances, I search for more complex fragrances, I'm kind of, for me personally, getting away from these types of fragrances. I'm not exactly a niche head. Some people might say that I am, but I do tend to like fragrances that are a little bit more creative and a little bit more unique. And if you've smelled a lot of the blue fragrances on the market, guys, I think you're probably going to say that you've smelled this before. You smelled this somewhere, but does it smell bad? No, it actually smells pretty mass appealing, and I think that you could get compliments from this one. It also somewhat reminds me of a fragrance called The One from Babylon Fragrances. It reminds me somewhat of that as well. So actually pretty likable. We'll jump into the compliment factor here in a second. Longevity-wise, I was getting 6 to 7 hours because of the oil and how concentrated this fragrance looks. I was expecting actually better longevity, but I was getting 6, maybe 7 hours. Projection was average and sillage was average. I was expecting really strong performance. This isn't bad, but I wish that I would get more. This fragrance doesn't smell the same, but you might also possibly could compare this to, it's a different fragrance, but it's going to give you a similar effect to Jeremy Fragrance's The One, his fragrance Office for Men. So, this versus Office for Men, y'all know how funny I am. I actually would prefer this one over Office for Men, and this kind of smells a little bit better, and it's a much better price. But am I crazy about it? Honestly, no. So compliment factor wise, actually fairly high. Didn't get me chased down, didn't get anything too crazy. But if you were to spray a lot of this on, if you were, going to just be around friends, just hang out, or maybe, go to a party, I could see this fragrance, if you do get into a conversation with somebody, I think that if you were in arm's length of them, I think that they could pick up on this fragrance. And I do think that this fragrance, could work as a little bit of a charm for you. But again, in my experience, you have to have something a little bit higher quality and something a little, not exactly unique, but something a little bit more creative. If you're around people who don't know anything about fragrance, who've never, smelled very few fragrances in their life, they might actually like this on you. But if you're around people who have smelled any sort of fragrances before, I don't know if this would exactly work. So, not a bad fragrance. Has a little bit of sweetness. Very modern. Very trendy. Again, some ambergris, almost some dried berry, almost kind of quality about it. Almost like a blue raspberry, and it's interesting in its own little way. Anyways, my getting into my final thoughts. You can check out the prices. They're not too expensive. I'll link the website down below. This is pretty affordable. I would encourage the brand to make sure that they use some of that seal around their collars. I actually tightened this one down by hand, but I don't think that there's a very good seal, or maybe any seal in there. And this one is slowly leaking over time. I actually haven't sprayed this very much, and I've lost a little bit of juice. So I'd encourage them to make sure that things are sealed correctly. But guys, check it out if it sounds interesting to you. I never want to beat up on a brand or beat up on a house, but you can tell from my level of excitement, or I guess maybe lack of excitement, that this maybe isn't for me. But again, if you're on a budget, maybe you want an alternative to Bleu de Chanel or Sauvage, maybe Jeremy's Office for Men, Elysium, those kinds of things. If you wanted a cheaper alternative, maybe you want to do support the underdog, the little guy, and this could work for you. And again, it's not a bad price. I don't think the price is bad. Y'all know me. I tend to like my more complex, unusual fragrances these days, or something that I feel has a lot, something special about it. And to me, this isn't exactly special, but I do respect the fragrance. I do think that, if I was a younger guy, if I was 18 years old or 17 or 16, I would have loved to have this as a gift, because I could just wear this anywhere, anytime, and I wouldn't have to think about it, and it would make you smell kind of good. So, hey, if that's what you're all about. So, anyways, guys, have a beautiful day, everybody. Wear what you love, rock what you got. I hope that you enjoyed my review. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share the video, and tell a friend. I'll see you next time, everybody. Have a beautiful day, and I will be giving this away in my giveaway for 5,000 on Instagram, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you next time, everybody. Peace out, and bye.